Inspirational Creatives, episode 176. Welcome to Inspirational Creatives. I'm your host, Rob Lawrence. Join me every Friday as I chat with successful artists, producers, and creative entrepreneurs who share powerful stories and strategies. They can help you to create the life that you want. Listen each week as these inspirational creatives show you how to take your creativity to the next level. You'll learn how to create a sustainable business that inspires others and gives you the financial freedom and lifestyle that you want. Thanks for listening. Make sure you sign up at inspirationalcreatives.com to get free exclusive bonus material. And now, on with the show. Rob here, and welcome to this short action episode of Inspirational Creatives. If you're new to these short action episodes, each Wednesday a new short action episode is published, which will help you to take some life-changing action to help you live more creatively. Often they feature actionable takeaways from a longer conversation that's published every Friday. Before we begin today's short action episode, I want to give a quick shout out to my good friend and buddy, Marcus Taylor, who not only very kindly left a flattering iTunes review for Inspirational Creatives recently, but has also launched his own inspiring podcast series for digital agency owners. It's called 10x Your Agency. It's being produced by yours truly, so I highly recommend you seek that one out on Google or iTunes. I'd also like to say thanks to Paul at theappguy.co for his iTunes review earlier this year, which says, switch off the negativity of mass media news and switch on to Inspirational Creatives, which he's loving. Thanks for those reviews, guys, and now on with the show. In episode 175, I spoke with entrepreneur and social sidekick podcaster Laurie Solgon. We talked about how she's created a life that's involved a career software programming, volunteering to help others, and a popular podcast series. Most importantly, we talked about how she's got things done as a creative. So in this short action episode, we're going to explore the art of making it happen. How we can make our big ideas a reality in just 4 simple steps. You see, in my experience, many creative people struggle with realizing their own creative projects. And this is usually because they're either stuck starting or struggling to finish and launch a new idea, product, or service. But it doesn't need to be that difficult, and there's a little known secret to making it happen and getting things done. So in episode 175, I asked Laurie Solgon how she stays focused in order to realize her creative aims. Here's what she had to say.
You know, that staying focused is really hard. And when you go to school, when you have an assignment due, you have a deadline. So you have to make these kind of fake deadlines for yourself, whether it's writing it down or putting it on a schedule, putting it in some app that will remind you, hey, by this time you said you were going to do this. Have you done this? No, you haven't done it? Well, get your butt moving.
In order to stay focused, you have to set deadlines. If nobody is giving you a deadline, you'll need to set one for yourself. With all of my coaching clients, I always ask, when do you need this done by? What would it take to get this done in half the time? More often than not, if it's our own creative idea or project and nobody's really pushing us to launch or deliver, then it's a good idea to set yourself a realistic target that's actually not too far away, but soon enough so that you can remain motivated. Deadlines are key to getting things done. Otherwise, your projects will drag on forever. Laurie also suggests writing things down.
Writing things down helps quite a bit. Writing things on a timeline. There's an app that I don't use as much as I should called Evernote, that you can use it on your computer, on your iPad, on your smartphone. There are calendars. There are other apps that you can set up for yourself to basically be the nag in the back of your head saying, you said you were going to do this and it's time to do this.
Laurie suggests writing down your goals and planning out the steps required to achieve your ideas. Writing has a powerful effect on your mindset, and seeing your idea mapped out in an app or on paper can really help break down your big project or aim into smaller, actionable steps to make it happen. Then, once you've figured out the first small step, you can start there.
Another way I do it is to write down goals and say them out loud and put dates on them. For example, I will record 10 podcasts and launch my podcast by August of 2015, which is what I did.
Another idea Laurie offers is to say your goals out loud. How does that feel to you? It may feel a bit weird or awkward at first, and the trick might be to find a quiet, private spot to have a go there, like when you're walking out in the wilderness or on a road trip or commute somewhere. Laurie's wisdom reflects that of many creative greats, such as Napoleon Hill, who wrote the book Think and Grow Rich, who spent 25 years studying the successful habits of people such as Henry Ford, Charles Schwab, and John D. Rockefeller. In the book Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill suggests that reading aloud achieves, quote, "You communicate the object of your desire directly to your subconscious mind in a spirit of absolute faith. Through repetition of this procedure, you voluntarily create thought habits which are favourable to your efforts to transmute desire into its monetary equivalent." Unquote. What I learned from that is that through the process of writing our goals down and then saying them aloud, we shift our own mindset. We deepen our faith and sense of purpose when it comes to making our creative projects happen. Before we wrap up this short action episode, Laurie offers this tip.
You have to redo those goals periodically, because if you say, okay, I'm going to create 5 more podcasts that talk to people who make $1 million a year, and I'm going to have these recorded by December 1st of 2016, and you only have 2 of those in the bank, December 1st is coming up pretty quick, so sometimes you have to rephrase that goal and change the date. The goal is still there. You just shuffle it a little bit and put it out in the future a little bit more. Not too far, so that you can be a little naughty and not pay attention and kind of not work hard at it. You just maybe shove it out a little bit, like a week or something, or a couple of weeks. But you have to keep your mind on the prize, and you have to be disciplined.
Reviewing our goals periodically can help us keep focused. We can ask ourselves, how are we doing? How did we do? What worked? What didn't work? What could we do differently next time around? By reviewing our goals often, and I recommend daily, weekly and monthly, you can reflect on how well things are going. Have you been realistic or unrealistic in terms of the time needed and the necessary resources required to make your action happen? Laurie reminds us that when we're reviewing our goals and setting our deadlines, that we don't want to be setting our deadlines that are too far out, but near enough to motivate us. As Laurie says, you have to keep your mind on the prize, as it takes discipline.
Discipline is the whole big thing, and that's hard to do sometimes.
With discipline comes freedom. So to wrap up today's short action episode, I learned from Laurie that it takes discipline to realise our creative goals, and that we can do this by breaking down our approach into 4 steps. 1. Setting a deadline. One that is realistic yet motivating enough for us to complete is the key to making our ideas happen. 2. It can really help to be clear about our creative aims by writing our goals down. This can help us to achieve the clarity we need to know what needs to happen. We could use an app such as Evernote to achieve this, and other apps to keep us accountable too. 3rd, by saying our goals out loud, we develop deep motivation, dedication and focus to achieving our big ideas and aims. 4th, and finally, by reviewing our goals frequently, daily, weekly and monthly, we can see what needs to change and what needs to happen to make our creative dreams a reality. Dreaming big can be a lot of fun, but taking action and realising our dreams is where the real fun and connection can happen. Good luck taking action today. To hear more of what Laurie had to say, head on over to Inspirational Creatives and look for episode 175. If you'd like to share your thoughts and ideas with me on this short action episode, I'd love to hear them. You can reach me at inspirationalcreatives.com/contact or drop me an email directly at rob@inspirationalcreatives.com. I'll chat to you soon. Thanks for listening. Nothing beats the stories and advice of an expert to help you raise your creative game. I would love to know what you thought about today's episode, so don't forget to subscribe in iTunes, where you can rate and review the show. If you like this episode, I invite you to share it on Facebook or Twitter with the one person you know who will benefit from the wisdom shared here today. You can find the show notes on inspirationalcreatives.com/podcast. If you have a burning question or a great idea for a guest, head on over to inspirationalcreatives.com/contact, where you can connect with me there. Join me this Friday, where I'll be chatting with semi-nomadic writer and mum, Amanda Turner.